Welcome to my first YouTube video to share with you my experiences as I engage with rediscovering a ceramics hobby. Last time that I enjoyed throwing pots on a wheel was when I was in high school, and I just recently retired, so it's been a little bit of time since I've last tried this. In watching the show, the Pottery Throwdown, my family and I enjoyed it. Many times I said, well, I can do that, or I remember doing that. And they were thoughtful enough for my retirement to go out and buy me a potter's wheel. So I'm going to share with you today my experience brand new with a potter's wheel, and I hope you enjoy it. So this is a SKYTOU potter's wheel found on Amazon. It's an entry-level machine that has quite a bit of features from the research I've done after receiving it. It has a 9 3/4 inch diameter wheel, forward reverse action. The tray is removable for cleaning, and it's gotten high reviews on other sites and other potters. So in the box, it had an instruction sheet, some tools, a sponge, and the handle. I'll install the handle and we'll take a look at it. Okay, after unboxing the machine and putting it on the floor and attaching the knob on the foot pedal, I got out my level and checked that both directions are completely in level by adjusting the bottom of the feet. Well, I remember that having a stool is a necessity when you want to center clay and work at the wheel, unless you have it on a table. So I looked around in my shop, and the only thing I had that low was a milk crate. I'm going to put a milk crate with a pillow, and this will serve as my seat. So it doesn't have to be all that fancy. So now we have the machine set up on the floor. I've got seating, and next thing I need is some clay. I have a small box of clay that my wife bought. This is Cone 6 low fire white pottery clay. Now again, I really haven't done this in so long. I'm only going to take a little bit of clay for my first attempt. Don't want to make this too difficult on myself. This wire with 2 handles is the perfect tool to take a small lump of clay. And typically you would need this clay to make sure that you get all of the air bubbles out. Just going to make it into a ball. And as I get prepared to put it on the wheel, I'm going to add a little bit of water, and this machine has a tray built in already for the water to go. I think that's pretty handy. Also has part of the tray where you can put your tools, and it comes with the sponge. So I'm going to get the wheel wet, damp, and then take my lump of clay and slap it on. All right, having this piece of clay roughly in the center is the beginning part. So now I'm going to try to center the clay. I say try because, again, it's been a little while since I've done this. I'm going to get it wet. It should have enough speed to be malleable. I'm going to get it down, and you can see it already looks better. Keep it wet. I'm going to bring that in a little bit. And what I'm doing as I center, I'm paying attention to pressing both into the clay and down on the clay at the same time. Using my elbows on my knees, I can really bear down on the clay. If you feel it's dragging a little bit, a little more water, it feels pretty well centered. As I'm working on centered clay, I should be able to bring it up and then bring it back down. And although I didn't wedge the clay, I am working the clay into a little bit of a pliable state from my first pot. And I've got to say that so far so good. I'm feeling pretty comfortable with this. Okay, now that it's centered, let's see if we can raise it up, bring us into a pot stage. Press both thumbs slightly into the middle and keep it wet and make a hole. And expand that hole to the side a little bit. I'm going to leave about, I'm hoping, 1/4 of an inch or so of clay at the bottom that will allow for trimming later. But I'm slowly bringing the sides of the pot up. Trying not to allow it to flare out on me. Bring it back in just a little bit. It's not bad, it's taking a little bit of shape. I just realized as I'm looking down at the pot, you're looking at the top of my head. All right, let's bring this up a little bit more and give a little definition to the shape. Yeah, I got a little twist. I think I'm not keeping it wet enough. Let me see if I can bring it back. I don't think I'm going to be able to. So the first pot looks like it's going to be a little bit of a challenge. Since I twisted it, it's a little thin, it's throwing itself out. So I'll stop. We'll take a look at it a little closer with the camera, and I'll show you what I did for my very first pot since high school. All right, so here it is, my finished piece of art. All in all, I'm very pleased with the first pot that I've made. I'm pleased with the wheel, with the clay. Now I'm going to separate the pot from the wheel and slide it onto a wooden bat. Okay, so now I've finished the pot and I'm ready to take it off the wheel. First step is used to set the same wire tool with a handle on each end. And I'm going to keep the wire tight as I draw it across the bottom of the pot. By keeping it tight, I'm not allowing the wire to create a concave or go up into the bottom of the pot. I also have just a wooden bat, a wooden piece of plywood. Put my pot on it. I didn't do that very well, but there it is, my very first piece of art on my new wheel, beginning my new adventure into the world of pottery in my retirement. Thanks again for watching.